Hey everyone, I'm Jen Adams. Today we're on the quad at Chewonki's campus, right in front of the Wallace Center. One of my favorite parts about coming to Chewonki, particularly the first day of any program, is thinking about what we're going to have for dinner. Maybe that's just me, but I know I'm always really excited about food. When you think about the first meal you're going to get at Chewonki, the thing that my head immediately jumps to is what are we going to have for dessert, the best part of any meal. Today we're going to go into the kitchen and meet up with Bill Edgerton, the kitchen manager at Chewonki, and we're going to learn how to make one of Chewonki's favorite desserts, world famous chocolate chip cookies. Hey Bill.
Hey Jen, let's go on into the kitchen.
Awesome.
Come on Jen, this is where we do most of our baking. I've got the ingredients already measured out.
Oh, you're so prepared.
Okay Jen, so here at Chewonki we make a lot of chocolate chip cookies, thousands of them every year. And probably for opening night of camp, when we have campers and wilderness trippers here, we'd probably make about 400 cookies at one go for one meal. I just want to go through some of the ingredients. I've got a pound of butter here that I've softened in the microwave, and that's 2 sticks of butter. I've got 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup of white sugar, 2 eggs fresh from the farm, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Here's a teaspoon of baking soda. You want to make sure you don't mix that up with baking powder. This is a teaspoon of salt. I've got a cup of chocolate chips and about 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour.
I have a question. Why do you think the campers and participants at Chewonki love the cookies so much?
A, they're pretty big.
That's a good reason.
And B, they're really soft and chewy, and they have lots of chocolate chips in them.
That's why I love cookies.
Perfect. Would you grab the rubber spatula off that sheet pan, please? And I'm going to actually have you put all the ingredients in the bowl. We're going to start off with the butter and the 2 sugars, so you can go ahead and dump those in, and use the rubber spatula if you need to get all the butter out.
I think the butter's the most important one.
It is. You could mix these by hand. You don't necessarily need to use the mixer. I happen to have it. All right. It's fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and mix these up. We want to make sure they're mixed thoroughly with no lumps of butter. Otherwise you get little holes in your cookies. That's great. Jen, would you take the spatula and just scrape that down a little bit? Then we're going to go ahead and add the eggs and vanilla.
It's a small bowl and a big spatula.
We have smaller ones.
Oh, it's fine.
So you can go ahead and dump the eggs and vanilla right in there. Okay. And we'll mix this up. I just want to make sure we're getting all the stuff down to the bottom. And now we can add the rest of the ingredients.
And now for the best part.
All right, let's make dough.
So Bill, what would be different about the process you've told us about if we were making 400 cookies?
So if we're making 400 cookies like we would for the first day of camp, of course we'd have a lot more ingredients, and we'd also use a much bigger mixer. This is a 5-quart mixer here, and we made about 24 cookies in that, and they handled it relatively easily. For a big batch, we would use this mixer here, which is 30 quarts. And we might even have to do a couple of batches in this in order to get 400 cookies. We have a lever here that raises and lowers it, which is kind of fun. And when we get it in position, we actually close this cage so nobody can put their fingers in there. It's a pretty powerful machine, and it could probably really hurt your hand. When we turn it on, all we do is push a button, like that, and it's got a stop button. And this mixer's also got a cool timer on it. So if I need to go do something else, and I need the dough to mix for 3 minutes, I can set the timer on the side, and it will run for 3 minutes and then turn itself off. All right, Jen, I think we're ready to scoop the cookies. If you want to grab that pan over there and the scoop, we can get started with that. So before we begin, we want to make sure that the pan either has a piece
I can't wait for those cookies. I'm so excited for them.
What do you think goes really well with cookies, Jen?
Fresh farm milk.
Okay, let's go get some.
Sounds good.
So Jen, this is our big walk-in refrigerator. Be careful, it's 38 degrees in there.
Oh. Here it is.
There it is. So this is farm milk from our cows on the farm. And it's been pasteurized. Maybe we'll do a video about that a little later on this summer. And it's really rich and really good. It'll go great with those cookies.
Do you know why it's kind of yellowish?
Yeah, because the cows have been out grazing on fresh grass, and it's got a lot of beta carotene in it. And the cows can't metabolize beta carotene, so it stays in the milk. It comes out kind of yellowy.
I think that means it's extra delicious.
Extra good. Oh boy, those look good.
How long do we have to wait till we eat them?
It depends how much you value the inside of your mouth. They're really hot right now. I'd let them cool at least 5 or 10 minutes before we eat them.
I think I can make it.
Okay.
Bill, are there any last things that you need to remember if you're going to make these at home?
I would say remember to check in with your family before you start doing anything in the kitchen. And I think most important of all is to share the cookies with somebody you love.
That makes a lot of sense. Speaking of, should we go ahead and eat some?
Let's. Here, I'll pour.
Sounds good. Before we dig in, I wanted to make sure to thank you for working with us today. It's always great to hear your tips and tricks on how to make the perfect cookie.
Well, you're welcome. I hope you enjoy it.
I know I'm going to enjoy this. Joining us today, we hope you have a fun time making these chocolate chip cookies at home and look forward to seeing and hearing about how it goes. See you next time.
Wish you were here.
Do you dunk your cookies or do you...
I mix them out.